Good morning, ninjas. I hope that you're going to have a nice week. I'm here today to make an outlook on my favorite pairs and the only pairs that I actually trade, which are gold, GBPUSD and EURUSD. Sometimes I go for BTCUSD as well as my colleagues, but most of the times I do not, so I simply follow the signals that they send. And also I will go over DXY as well because it's pretty important, and I make a correlation between DXY and the other pairs. So okay, let's go first to Forex Factory because this is exactly what I do before making my analysis. If you don't know what news are in the specific week, it's useless to make technical analysis without realizing what happens in the day, especially if you are a day trader or a scalper. This news really impact what's happening on charts. So even though your technical analysis is perfect, if there are important news in the market, it will be pretty invalidated. So I had a look before filming this video, and I can tell that this is going to be a great week. I'm not a news trader, so most of the times I like to trade when there are no news in the market, when the markets are clear. So on Monday it's pretty clear. However, most of the times I prefer to avoid Mondays and to start looking for positions from Tuesdays up to Friday in London because it's clearer for me, especially on EURUSD and GBPUSD. But let's see. So as I said, Monday looks clear. I like that. On Tuesday there are some news here. I guess it's in London. Yeah, they are early in the morning. I'm in Asia right now, so your hours might be different from mine. You can adapt your own hours. But there's nothing major here, so it looks pretty good. On Wednesday, again, no news. This didn't happen in a long time, so I'm pretty happy. I guess that is going to be a great week. On Thursday, there are some news on GBP and also on USD later in New York. However, this isn't a lot. It's not like a week full of news. So I guess that on Thursday I will try to trade more in London on EURUSD and gold, not on GBP of course because there are some news over here. But yeah, it's looking great as well. And yeah, on Friday again there are some news but nothing major. It's gonna be alright. These are the kind of news that do not impact the chart a lot. You won't see huge movements, so it's pretty great. I usually stop trading 30 minutes before the news with this kind of news and 30 minutes after the news. So let's go on chart right now and see exactly what's happening, and I will start with DXY. I want to mention one thing. We are day traders and scalpers at FXA, so mostly when we're doing the weekly analysis we are looking for the overall direction, but that doesn't mean that we're looking for positions on these time frames that I'm showing here, because our positions are taken on the 15 minutes time frame and 5 minutes time frame or 3 minutes time frames sometimes. And also I want to mention that they are influenced by the sessions and confluences that happen on spot. So I cannot predict what is going to happen and what positions I'm going to take because I react on spot on what's happening on the price action basically and on the liquidity grabs. But overall, for the direction of the market, which is pretty important, I want to mention the fact that I can see clearly that the DXY might continue bullish. And why is that? Because this was my last structure that I marked, the break of structure to the upside. It went bullish, then it created some liquidity over here that was grabbed again. It went for the sell side liquidity first, and then most likely it will go for the buy side liquidity as well. The idea is that we need to see first if this imbalance area is going to hold. If it's not going to hold and the price will go lower, the chances are reduced for this bullish structure to hold. The structure might go even lower, but if this area holds, if this wick still holds, it means that we are bullish for the week. So I expect something like this, maybe some continuation or even to go lower to fill the wick a little bit, even to take it for more liquidity, and then to continue bullish, and why not to stop somewhere over here or even go for another break of structure to the upside. Like this will be a perfect scenario. Now let's see if this is going to hold. By the way, I spoke a lot about our trade ideas, about how we take scalps most of the times, and the fact that I can share with you my positions on chart on higher time frames, just my bias. So what you can do is to simply access FXA Ninja signals to see our activity on a day-to-day basis. And yes, it's free. There's a variant in which you can join the group for free. You can just go in the first link in the description and see exactly the details. And right now I'm gonna go on EURUSD, and now let's continue with the analysis, because as I've seen from the news, it looks pretty fine for me. The news aren't huge on euro, neither on USD, so it's gonna be a great pair to trade. Remember that GBP had a little bit more news, but it's only for one day, so it's pretty great as well. So here you can see exactly the same thing on 4 hours. First of all, the price stopped here in this imbalance area. After this break of structure, it's a great area with a protected high, and if I mark this zone like this, because we can go on daily and you can observe even here that there was a break of structure, I can tell for sure that this is a great area for sales. So again, if this area is going to hold, if this high is going to hold, because it has quite a lot of liquidity that was taken, it took the internal liquidity and now maybe it will go for the external liquidity. So if this area holds, everything is going to be great, the setups will work great. But again, you can't tell for sure before seeing some confluences. Again, for EURUSD and GBPUSD, usually I try to trade more in London. I have my setup, and if you don't know what my setup is, you can just simply go on this YouTube channel and you can see the other videos, because it didn't change in a long time. So I'm just looking for liquidity grabs after the Asian session. However, in New York I tend to trade more gold. So here's the EURUSD. This is the idea. I expect it to go bearish from here. It looks pretty bearish, especially from the fact that the DXY is looking bullish as well. And GBP, same thing. But again, I'm not so confident to tell you more about GBP, because we have news and you do not know for sure what is going to happen if news are present. So again, it's the same idea. Imbalance area, there is this protected high over here. It looks pretty great. There were liquidity grabs before, there was liquidity being formed, and now I expect this area to be taken as liquidity as well, and to form a new break of structure to the downside. If the DXY is going to continue bullish, and if the imbalance that I presented you here is going to hold. If not, these setups won't be valid anymore. Those ideas, the bias will be invalidated. Okay, so here is gold, which lately behaved in a different way. It wasn't a normal behavior lately, but right now it looks like the trend changed to bearish, and of course I will try to continue looking for bearish setups. But remember the fact that as day traders we take buys and we take sells as well, but overall you know that if the trend is bearish, the setups are most likely to go in the right direction and to go hit TP if there are sells. And same for the bullish markets. When the market is bullish, of course that we have more trust in our buy positions when we find some, and of course the risk to reward are higher when we go pro trend. Okay, so usually what I do on gold is to have a look overall, and this is the situation right now. I can't tell much. I will be honest with you. I can predict the movement of gold because Gold is manipulated most of the times. I'm talking about the higher time frames. So mostly what we do is to go on lower time frames in New York and simply trade them. So right now it's stopped inside this demand area, and it will either hold and continue to go bullish, right, and create another all-time high, or it will finally go bearish. But the idea for now is that we're situated in this leg, and as day traders we can look for sells most of the time. So this was the first break of structure to the downside over here, the one with an impact. The price stopped here inside this imbalance area. It made another break of structure to the downside, and it went a little bit higher this time. And if I go on 1 hour, I can see it clearer. And what you can see is the fact that it oscillated here a lot. It doesn't have a clear direction. Weak to the upside, weak to the downside. Which one? Okay, the buy side manipulation was first, followed by the sell side manipulation, and now the price stopped inside this week. I do not know what to expect. We have to wait in order for gold to get out of this situation before having a clear bias. But yeah, it will either go above this high or below this low. What we can do for now is to simply wait and see after Monday, maybe after Tuesday as well, to just wait to see what exactly is happening and where the candles will close. Because it's bearish, of course, I hope for the price to go lower, but it's not guaranteed because, again, there are liquidity grabs even on higher time frames. By the way, I spoke a lot about our trade ideas, about how we take scalps most of the times, and the fact that I can share with you my positions on chart on higher time frames, just my bias. So what you can do is to simply access FXA Ninja signals to see our activity on a day-to-day basis. And yes, it's free. There's a variant in which you can join the group for free. You can just go in the first link in the description and see exactly the details. And now let's continue with the analysis. Alright, so that's it for now. I expect you in the group. Don't forget to join our free group on Telegram as well. The link is in the description. And have a great week.